Recording your income is crucial to managing your wealth. In this video, I will explain exactly how to do that and how to interpret your pay stubs. First, let's look at your paycheck and figure out what each line item means. On the left is your gross pay. This is pay before taxes and deductions. This example shows that the employee is paid $17 per hour and worked for 40 hours. Multiply these two numbers together and you get $680 of gross pay. But this isn't the money that goes into your bank account. Next, we deduct taxes. FICA Med Tax, or sometimes listed as Fed Med/EE, is the Medicare program. This provides healthcare insurance for U.S. citizens over the age of 65. FICA SS Tax, or sometimes listed as Fed OASDI/EE, is the Social Security program. This is a program that writes a retirement check for U.S. citizens over the age of 62. Fed Tax, or sometimes listed as Federal Withholding, is the general tax fund that funds the rest of the federal government. The largest item after Social Security and Medicare is the military. So most of this money funds the U.S. Department of Defense, but it also funds other federal programs. And lastly, we have state tax, which of course varies depending on which state you live in and may say, for example, NC withholding. If you didn't contribute to your individual retirement accounts or have healthcare deductions, then that's it. You take your gross pay of $680 and subtract taxes, and then you have your net pay, the amount that gets deposited into your bank account. If you do have healthcare or retirement deductions, then you would subtract those as well before getting to your net pay. So now that we know basically how the pay stub works, let's enter the important data into our spreadsheet. This is how I do it. The first line is gross pay. The next 5 lines are taxes. The next 4 lines are health insurance provided by my employer but deducted from my pay. This one, of course, will vary depending on your situation. The next 2 lines are HSA and 401k. HSA stands for Health Savings Account. My employer has a specific type of health insurance known as a high deductible plan. I won't spend too much time on this right now, but basically this allows me to put money aside every paycheck to help pay for future health expenses. 401k is a retirement account. This money goes directly into funding my personal retirement. It has tax advantages to doing this, but we will cover that later. I list these 2 items in blue because I control what these numbers are and can increase or decrease how much I put into them. After deducting all of these transactions from my paycheck, I am left with my net pay in green. This is the amount that actually goes directly into my bank account. Just like with your expenses, you should customize your income spreadsheet to suit your needs. You may have more line items to add. It's also important to look at how much money the government is taking out of your paycheck. Generally speaking, a well-funded, stable government is imperative to a functional society. Taxes aren't necessarily bad if the government uses them to provide value to their citizens. But you need to decide if the amount the government is taking is providing a corresponding increase in value. If you don't believe it matches up, then make sure you vote in every election for candidates that you share economic beliefs with, or consider moving to a state that more aligns with your personal thoughts on taxation and the role of the government. Most people just ignore the taxes portion of their pay stub, and while you may not be able to change them right now, you need to know what the government is doing that impacts you, so you can make long-term adjustments. But to finish up this topic, you should have a box for each paycheck you receive. At the end of the month, you should also have a total income box that sums up the information. We will copy this into a yearly spreadsheet at the end of each month. Tracking your income and expenses are 2 of the most important things you can do to start managing your money. And it doesn't take a fancy app or a professional accountant. I spend less than 1 hour per month inputting all of this information. It's not hard. You just have to do it.